Hey YouTube, this is Randy Ross with Woodworking. Today I'm going to show you how to build a cookbook stand or an iPad stand out of this beautiful piece of black walnut. Very simple tools, very easy build. Hang around to the end. I'll tell you exactly what you can sell these for, but you can also give it as a gift. Let's get to the build. All right, the first thing you want to do is you want to get you about a 20-inch piece of wood. It needs to be around anywhere from 8 to 10 inches, 12 inches, just depends, but it needs to be 20 inches long. It's a very simple build, very simple tools. What you're going to do is you're going to cut this piece into a 12-inch piece, and then it's going to leave you somewhere around an 8-inch piece. Depends exactly what your dimension is. It does not have to be black walnut. It can be pine, it can be oak, it can be maple, it can be cedar, whatever you want it to be. Whatever you want it to be. So all you got to do is cut these things up, and that's what we're going to do right now. Kind of show you how to go from there. All right, now it should leave you with a 12-inch piece, and it should leave you with an 8-inch piece. They're the same width. What we're going to do, what we're going to do is we're going to cut a hole so we can slide this into that. So of course this can't be just as wide as this, so we're going to take a little bit off this. What we're going to do is take that off with a table saw. So if you're working at this piece right here, this piece it's about 9 3/8. It's close enough. 9 3/8. I'd like to take about 2 inches off. That gives you an inch on each side. So what we need to do is trim this piece down to 7 3/8. And then we should be able to drill some holes here in a minute. Let's get over to the table saw. Let's cut it down. All right, now we're back over to the workbench. Now we have this piece which is 2 inches narrower than this piece. As you can see there, see what I'm going for. Now what we got to do now is we've got to cut a hole through this board to let this board slide through it to make a stand. Now how we're going to do that, we're going to mark this out. We're going to measure up 2 inches from the bottom on the big board right here. We're going to go up 2 inches on both sides, draw us a line, and then we're going to use that as our bottom piece or our bottom mark for this. So this will slide through. Now how we're going to do this is, there's many ways you can do this. Easiest way to do this with the Forstner bit. And what you'll do is you'll drill on each corner where this mark is, and that gives you a nice little rounded edge on each corner, and then you connect it with 2 lines, and then you cut it out with a jigsaw. And that's what we're going to do right now. Let's get to that part. Okay, got that cut out. If you noticed there a while ago, it won't go in there. What it is, we have a round side we'll have square sides. Square peg, round hole. We'll go. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to round this over with a 3/4. Let's round it over. Okay, now we have that rounded over, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We still hadn't rounded over any of this. We just have it cut in there just like this. But now that fits in there perfect. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Randy, hey, I noticed you only rounded 3 sides of this thing. Why did you not round over the 4th side? Because I'm lazy. I didn't want to. No, I'm kidding. We're going to do something else with that flat side. What we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to put a piece of that lip on top of this. So basically, you'll have a little foot. So we'll, better term, you'll have a little lip out there that we can stick on the very end to keep your board from, or your book from coming off of it, or your iPad from slipping off of it, things like that. So that's why we left that way for right now. And a little bit more about this stuff is I got this idea off of Etsy. I've seen, you know, it's a great idea place, Pinterest, any of those things. You can get out there and just search simple builds, beginner woodworker builds, one tool builds, rubber band builds, whatever you want to put out there. And there's something out there that's going to pop up usually on Etsy. So I did find this, I found about 15 of them on Etsy, or 20, kind of the same setup, same everything. And these things were selling like hotcakes. I went into a couple of them. There was quite a few in the baskets, quite a few reviews. One of them had like 8,500 reviews. So I don't know if he sold that many or if that's for the store, but he didn't have a lot of the items listed and he had this many sales on this. So if you got 20 inches of wood laying around, you can make some money with this, or at least save yourself some money for Valentine's Day or holidays or birthdays. Think about these for Christmas, Thanksgiving. Hand these out. That way you can give something from the heart and you don't go out to Walmart or some of these big box stores and just give $20 to get some piece of Chinese junk. Make something for them. So what we're going to do now, we're going to jump onto this, finna round this one over, finna round all this out and make it a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. And then we're going to get back to putting this thing together and finishing this video up and see what the final product is. Let's get to it. All right, we get all that rounded over. Everything looks a little softer, a little bit smoother. Still got some sanding to do, of course. But now you can see kind of what we're going at here. It's going to be a neat little holder, but we're going to have one with a twist here in just a minute. We'll do something a little different to this bottom piece to allow you to do something kind of special. So just bear with me. We're going to get to that. I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little lip to put on here. Keep the board kicking out on the end. It's going to be very simple. We're going to use some of the same wood that we just cut off. Didn't have to use all of it, so we'll use the same thing. We'll put that on the end and go from there. Let's get over there and check that out. We're going to do it right there. All right. Now we have our little piece. This piece of scrap I cut off a while ago. So now we're going to put this lip on here. Kind of see what we're coming at. I'm debating if I'm going to put it out here flush like this. We're going to put it in the middle. That way this can be directional. I don't know if that matters. Makes it easier, but I'm thinking about putting it in the middle. Tell me in the comments if I made a mistake. I don't know. That's the way I want to do it. It's my piece of wood. That's probably what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do here, anytime you could glue this. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use brass. I'm trying to use some minimal tools here. Yeah, I use the chop saw and the jigsaw and a drill and a router. It's not too bad. You can get one of those kits. At Lowe's pretty cheap. As a matter of fact, everything you see me use here, I'll have linked in the description below if you want to check out the price and anything like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is go grab some wood glue, and I think I'm going to attach it with wood glue and CA glue. Makes everything a little bit faster. Let me go grab some of that. I'll be right back. Hey, all right, y'all still here. All right, what we got? We got some CA glue, an activator. This Tightbond, highly recommend the stuff. I didn't buy it when I first got into woodworking, and everybody told me I need to, and I said it's too pricey. I don't want to use it, it's too high. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, I think you can buy a kit for about $45, $50, and everybody goes, whoa, it's a lot of money for glue. It lasts forever. That's a lot of glue for 50 bucks. You can go buy them little old tubes of super glue and yada yada for $6, $7, $8, $9. That's a lot of glue in there. This is, without my glasses, that's 4 ounces of glue. That's a lot of glue. And it makes everything a lot easier. So this is what we're going to use. We're going to use wood glue, and we're going to use CA glue to attach this together. And we don't have to wait on the wood glue to dry. We don't have to use brad nails. We don't do any of that. We're just going to use this. I'll show you how to do it. Watch this. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little clamp here just to hold the board straight. That way I don't have to worry about it moving around if I can do what I want it to do. It's not as sturdy as I want it, but that'll work. I'm going to take a little bit of wood glue. I use Tightbond 3 on everything. I don't care if it's indoor or outdoor. I use Tightbond 3. I'm sure, hey, if there's a reason in the comments I need to be using Tightbond 2 instead of 3, let me know. But if it's good enough for outside, I don't see why it's not good enough for anything else. So I'm going to put a little bit on here, not a lot. I'm not going to put any on here if it don't hurry up. There we go. But when I'm leaving a little room there, as you can see. Stick a little bit there, right there. Nobody will mind, will they? It's my workbench. So I'm leaving a little bit of room on the edges here. That's where we're going to put the star bond. Okay, so you can see kind of how I got the glue there. Now you take your star bond, and you just put a little bit right there, and a little bit right here. Put your cap back on it. It's a very expensive mistake if you don't. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the activator, and we're going to spray it on the back of this. That way when it touches, it's there. Does that make sense? Good. Everybody paying attention? Good. Let me see if I can get this straight on here without me messing it up. Now I'm going to hold it here for just a second. Let that activator work. Look at there. Look at there. And it's stuck. I don't have to fool with it no more. When the wood glue sets, it's really going to be stuck. You notice I didn't measure that. I just freehanded it. It's a cookbook stand. We're not building clocks. I'm hoping nobody's going to come and check this out and make sure I did it right. But there you go. Now we have a stand. Oh, excuse me, a lip. Keep it going off. I'm going to round this over too, just because I like round overs. I think they look pretty. That's what we're going to do. Let me grab the router here. Get some ear protection on. Highly recommend the 3M work tunes. They are fantastic. Okay, as you can see, I was trying to struggle to get in here. The bed's too tall. I can't get in there either way to make that round over, but the other pieces are rounded over. And I think it'll be okay anyway. That's where your book's gonna sit, your iPad's gonna sit in there anyway. And I can knock it down with a sander a little bit, some 80 grit, knock that rough edge off of it. But here we are so far. Let's see what happens when we put this together and see what it looks like. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, how quick was that? I'm gonna see if I can find a book. I'll be right back. I found a book. I found a book. I'm coming, I promise. I found a book. Not just any book, but I found a Woodworker Chronicle from 731 Woodworks. Faith Valley Tools. Check that out. I'll put a link down there for this thing. This thing is fantastic. Look at that. I mean, I draw, all my plans are in here, my pricing, all of it's right there when I need it. Okay, so, I can even center it. Look at that. Look at that. Let's open it up. Randy, but what about cooking? Oh my goodness, look at that. It opens it up and you can read it all. It's fantastic. And then guess what? When you're done with it, We all got that kitchen drawer. You didn't know we were doing that, did you? You didn't know we were making it where it would nest a little bit. You stick that in a drawer, it's done. Done. You know what else is good about using hardwoods? They can also double as a cheese tray. It can double as a chopping block. It can double as a fruit slicer cutter upper board. All from this one piece of black walnut. Now, I don't recommend doing that with pine. Let's get up here so you can see me. I need to be in this camera. I don't recommend doing this with pine. You can for the stand, of course, but if you're going to use it for food serving or anything like that, you don't want that. We're not going to put a finish on this as far as a hard finish. What I'm going to do is sand this and I'm going to oil it. We're going to show you how to do that here in a minute. We're going to do a big reveal when I put the oil on this and show you how pretty this is going to be. But I told you we had one little secret thing we were going to do. We're going to do that right now. If you noticed, you see down here and you see right here. I know a lot of people don't use actual cookbooks anymore. They use iPads, they use Kindles, they use whatever ThinkPads, whatever Microsoft, I have no idea. They use them pad things is what they use. So typically what happens when you're using electronics? I'll tell you what happens. Most of the time the battery starts going down or it starts going dead or things of that nature. So we're going to cut a place where you recess out of it so you can run a cord to it and charge this while you're using it. It's going to be very simple. We're going to do it with a normal bit we've already used, matter of fact. So I'm going to move this camera down and that way you can see what we're doing, and when we get through with that, I'm going to carry it over there. We're going to do some sanding right quick, and then we're going to oil it, and we're going to show you the finished product. Watch this. All right, what I'm doing here, we know this thing is 7 3/8. So we're going to mark it dead center. 7 3/8. Right there. Okay. We're not going to drill it very far this way. We're going to try to keep it towards the end here, just so that's where your book is setting and things like that. Remember that 1-inch Forstner bit we showed you a while ago? That's exactly what we're going to do with it. Let's find us this piece of wood here that we can set this on. It doesn't have to matter how far up and down you are. Just kind of keep it, you know, out of the way. As a matter of fact, if you want to go a little closer, you can. Let's do that. Something cool about Forstner bits too. They're shaving. They are shaving the wood away. That's why they leave such a clean hole with really minimal tear out. And the reason tear out didn't happen is because you always put something behind it when you're going through. Keeps the tear out. Easy peasy. A lemon squeezy. Okay, so now we have this, which is going to go in here. Look at that. Leaves you a place, run your cord through some charge, but you're thinking, how can I get the cord under here? That's why we're going to come in here and drill another hole. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to measure, get center. Y'all make me nervous, so I throw stuff around. We're going to get dead center. Right now we're in 9 3/8. Let's move it up here. We'll get dead center. Now we are going to center this one. That's 2 inches, so we're going to put it right at 1 inch, which is spot on right there. Take our blowout board again. I don't know if that's what you call that, but I'm going to coin that phrase. It's a blowout board. And then we're going to neat little broom here. Okay. So there we go. Now we have that hole, and now we have this hole. And now, all you got to do, run your cord through one, run your cord through the other, bingo, bambo. You got it. Simple as that. Okay, let's go over there and let's do some sanding. We're going to the wife's side of the shop, because my side of the shop right here, let's just take a look. Yeah, it's pretty crowded. I'll tell you something else you're not going to see in here either. You know why that big door's open right there? That's right. There's no air conditioner in this shop. There's one on that side of the shop, on the other side of that wall. That's the missus side of the shop. That's where the laser is, where the CNC is, where a lot of the finishing happens. So we're gonna go there right now. We're gonna pick up the sander, gonna sand this down, and then we're gonna do a big reveal at the end. Let's get over there. Okay, now we're going to do the big reveal once we get the oil. We have our oil in them. And something that's probably going to spill right here, and my wife is going to kill me. We'll find, oh, look at that. That's a perfect spot for it right there. All right. Get out of the way. Okay. We keep our oil in just a plain old Dollar General Walmart tub, whatever it is. We need to refill it, looks like. So now we're down to this. We have sanded, we have built, very quickly I may add. This is a great beginner build, especially if you got minimal tools. A router is the most absurd thing you may have. But now we have that, so let's dip this and see what it looks like. Let's get that out of the way. Let's dip the big piece first. There's nothing like, this is 100% food grade mineral oil. That's all we use on any of our products. Now look at that. Tell me mineral oil don't bling. It don't bling bling. Bling bling. Black walnut. It is awesome. Awesome. Now we're gonna dip our stand right here in it. Put a little dobby on it. I promise you I'm usually not this chatty. I'm just kidding. I'm very chatty always. And we have that. Look at that right there. Now what we're going to do is let this dry. We're going to bring it in the house, display it, show you what it looks like at the end. Let's get in the house. There you go, just that easy. I promised you I'd show you what this thing would look like when it's finished, and there it is. That's a piece of black walnut, easy to make, easy to put together. These things are selling on Etsy right now for about $45 to $65. Don't go out and buy one. Just build it. You saw how long it took. Minimal tools, nothing to it. Look at that. Holds a cookbook perfectly. All you have to do is just get out in the shop and try to put the creative juices to work. These things right here will make a great gift. Or like I said, you can sell them. Get you $45, $50 a piece for them. Hey, if you like this video, like and subscribe if you don't mind. We'll try to get this thing changed together. Thank you for everything. God bless.